Many of you are already aware that you do not need a lot of followers to become a paid influencer or a paid creator. And the amount of followers you have does not equate to your potential earnings. So if you're interested in becoming a paid creator or an influencer, or if you have already started generating revenue and you want to increase your earnings, stay tuned, as in this video I'm going to be sharing with you all of the tips and secrets on how you become a paid creator and influencer. Hi, I'm Alante. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Before we get started, if you haven't already watched my previous video, I highly recommend you do so, as in that video I pretty much break down 5 easy steps on how to become a creator or an influencer, and in this video it's going to be how to become a paid influencer and creator. So if you haven't already done so, I highly recommend you do. I did extensive research for you guys to come up with the best advice, and your girl did her research. So I basically broke this video down into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, and within those parts I broke them down in sections. So feel free to jump right into any section you feel is most relevant to you. However, in this video I dropped some bonus tips, and they're kind of spread out throughout the video, so I highly recommend you watch the video start to finish. Part 1 of this is going to be tools and resources you need to have and to be equipped with before you can start earning. So the first tools you're going to need to start becoming paid is you're going to need a media kit and a UGC portfolio. Starting with the media kit, a media kit is basically a PR kit. So if you type in PR kit or media kit, basically it's a digital resume that most influencers have, and on that media kit you will have your information about yourself, and you're going to have basically your type of niche you're in or the type of industry you're in and the type of content you create. So here's mine. I kept it basically pretty basic. I added pictures of myself, who I am, what I do, where I'm located, and this type of content my content revolves around. You can pretty much get a media kit on Etsy or Canva, and you're just going to edit it to your styling, but definitely a media kit is very important for you to have, and I'm going to share with you later on why that's important. The second tool you're going to need is a UGC portfolio. Now, similar to a media kit, but a media kit I highly recommend it only be 1 page, similar to a resume, but a portfolio is going to be about 2 to 3 more pages, and that's basically how you're going to showcase your work. So similar to a photographer's portfolio, how they showcase different type of styles they photograph, you're going to want to show different type of content you create. So video form, short form, long form, carousel posts. You want to make sure you include all of that into your UGC portfolio. Second piece of advice I'm going to give as far as in part 1 is be your authentic self in your content, and make sure you are continuously creating organic, high quality content. Think about it, brands want to work with you for being yourself. So always be yourself. Like, you would hate to not be yourself and then they reach out to you to create this video and you are quite not yourself. When it comes to a personality, you either got one or you don't. And basically what I mean by that is you want to make sure at all times while you are being your authentic self that you are showcasing and you are letting your personality shine throughout your content. That's going to be important, especially if you are interested later on down the line to transition and pivot into different type of content. So if you started out and you entered this industry as a fitness influencer, and then later on you are considering becoming a lifestyle influencer, your audience is going to easily, transition with you and pivot with you if you was already showcasing and letting your personality shine within your fitness content. That's going to make your transition more seamless. If you think about OG influencers and how most of them have transitioned and pivoted towards lifestyle content, and the reason why they were able to do so and the reason why they are so successful at their lifestyle content is because they were already letting their personality shine in their initial type of niche of content. So again, make sure you're being yourself, being your authentic self, creating organic content, and allowing your personalities to shine through and through your content. The next tip I'm going to add as far as under part 1 is going to be become searchable and become discoverable. And I hinted at that in my last video. So what I mean by that is you want to make sure you have title and keywords. Your title should be somewhere along the lines of photographer, makeup artist, fitness. And my name is Alante. I'm a Houston influencer and my content revolves around fashion and lifestyle. So my title is a Houston influencer and my keywords is fashion and lifestyle. So you want to make sure you have keywords and a title on your social media pages. It's very counterproductive for you to create all this content and these brands have no way they can reach out to you. Also on your social media pages, you have how they can contact you or get in contact with you, or a type of contact toggle on your page. So adding your email address, inquiries, email this. So those ways, like the titles and keywords, are going to help you become discoverable. So when people are looking for Houston influencers, they're going to type in Houston influencer because they're trying to discover Houston influencers. And then I myself, I have already that title, so that helped me become searchable in their discovery. So the last thing in part 1 is going to be track and optimize. This is important. So now that you have your kits, you have your media kit, you have your portfolio, you're becoming searchable and discoverable, and you are being your authentic self, you need to make sure you are consistently checking your metrics. Make sure you are paying attention to your metrics, your performance, your engagement, your reach, your conversions. You need to consistently track and optimize those 3 different metrics. So if you like what you have heard so far, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, because as this video is basically geared more towards how to become a paid creator, I myself is also aspiring to become a paid creator on YouTube. So with that being said, subscribe to your girl channel. As I mentioned, my goal is to create more content like this and how to basically help those who are interested become a creator and don't quite know where to start. Part 2 of the video. In part 2, I'm basically going to show you how to start earning as a creator. So let's jump right into it. One way in which you can become a paid creator is diving more into UGC content. And UGC content is user-generated content. The thing about UGC is you do not have to have a lot of followers. Like, you can literally have 0. Like, a brand can reach out to you and they can say they want you to create a video that promotes this wig or this type of product they have, and you don't even have to have any followers. You just basically send them that video on the review of that product. The good thing also about that is you don't have to post that content to your page. So definitely one way in which you should definitely invest more time into is creating UGC type of content. Bonus tip number 1, there are a lot of different apps in which brands reach out to creators to create UGC content, and one of those apps is Incense. Incense is basically an app that is partnered with Meta, different type of social media platforms. So what you do is you create a content, upload all your information, and then you'll have to get approved by that app. Upon approval, you'll get access to unlimited campaigns and brand collaborations in which you can sign up for. Once you sign up for, you basically agree that you'll create a video or whatever type of campaign they want you to run, and then from there you'll get paid to do that campaign. So the app is called Incense. I'll link it in the bottom of the video notes, and that's going to be one app in which you could use to start to generate UGC content. As an influencer, you need to think about how you can get on as many paid platforms as you can. I myself, I have an Amazon storefront. I am earning commission through my Amazon storefront under their Amazon influencer program. From there, I am on YouTube, and I am aspiring to become part of YouTube's paid partnership program. So that's another way. Or you can think about a way to have your own product or service. That's just another way you can generate revenue. So you have affiliate marketing with affiliate links. You have an actual tangible product or service you can offer. Also, the goal is to start to generate paid collaborations and paid brand sponsorships with these brands. But in order for you to even get to that step, I'm going to share with you ways in which you need to get started to start working with brands and to start getting paid partnerships. So let's get into that. So this is where the media kit and the UGC portfolio is going to become handy. So before you can even reach out to a brand, I'm going to highly encourage you to do a little bit of homework. And what I mean by that is make a list of brands you want to work with. From there, break that list down into about 5 to 10 brands. From there, you need to kind of understand that brand's values and look at any of their recent campaigns. You want to make sure you do that homework on those brands. The other key thing is you want to make sure that your Instagram profile or your social media platform reflects that brand's type of brand, if that makes sense. This is where, as I mentioned, becoming searchable and discoverable, you need to make sure you have an optimized bio in a way in which that brand can reach out to you. You want to consider if that brand is already offering paid partnerships. An easy way to see that is if you can see different influencers, they'll have like paid partnership with this brand, paid partnership with that brand, and that's what you want to use as a key in your research to see if if they're already working with influencers and if they already offer paid partnerships. So when you're creating this list, again, you're gonna have brands that you dream to work with, but sometimes those brands just don't quite invest their marketing dollars into influencer marketing. So you want to make sure you are honing in on brands that actually do paid partnerships and that has done recent partnerships with some influencers already. One brand I know for sure that works with a lot of different influencers is Pretty Little Thing. A lot of influencers already have like paid partnership with Pretty Little Thing. So again, that's going to be ways in which you need to research before you reach out to a brand. There is enough brands to go around. Like, don't think there's not a lot of brands. So if you're struggling with creating a list, just go on Instagram or go on TikTok or go on Pinterest and look at the latest brands that are offering collaborations. There's plenty of brands to go around. Bonus tip number 2. So as I mentioned, it's easier to get in touch with these brands than you think. I'm going to share with you that I do is I research that brand or I look up that brand on LinkedIn. So let's just say I wanted to get in touch with Pretty Little Thing. So I'll basically type in Pretty Little Thing on LinkedIn and then I'll research who their influencer coordinator is. From there, I'll either send them an email on LinkedIn or I'll research them on Instagram. I can find them and I'll shoot them a brief DM saying, hey, I'm interested in working with you. When you're pitching, this is where your media kit and your portfolio is going to come in hand. In that initial email, you're going to want to attach your media kit and or your UGC portfolio. I highly recommend you send both. Keep the email kind of short, sweet, and simple to the point, but make sure you at least hone in on what you can offer that brand and ask them if they have any available collaboration. Don't disclose your rates, just basically this is your initial email to that brand. You want to maybe follow up 2 to 3 times because as you know, the influencer industry has increased over the last few years. So a lot of these coordinators are being bombarded with emails. So you just kind of want to follow up at least 2 to 3 times with that coordinator because again, you don't want to just get lost in the shuffle. So make sure you are following up at least 2 to 3 times if you haven't heard back. But you want to continue to consistently do this as you are on your journey is to continue to pitch. Set a day out on your calendar like a Tuesday or a Wednesday and dedicate that day or a certain type of time in that day to pitch to different brands. From there, if you get an answer back, which is so good, basically next you want to negotiate fair compensation. Don't sell yourself short, but make sure that your raise is at least within that brand's budget because you don't want to necessarily ask for too much and then you basically blew the whole deal. So negotiate a fair compensation, and if you're not quite savvy with negotiation, I would definitely brush up on your negotiation skills. I'm actually thinking about doing like a separate video on how to negotiate how to negotiate successfully, but for now all you need to know is basically ask them what their budget is and see if you can fit in within that brand's budget. Don't sell yourself short, but also make sure what you're asking for is within that brand's budget. You're negotiating your compensation. This is where you want to tie in your portfolio. You want to make sure you are sharing with them your engagement rate, how many likes, comments, or subscriptions or watch hours. Basically set expectations for that brand. So if one of your reels or one of your YouTube videos get a certain amount of views, make sure you can share that with that brand so they can say, okay, I can expect to receive at least 2K views on this reel from this influencer because they have showed me that that is their average view count. Last bonus tip, so if you're struggling with creating a list or thinking about brands you want to work with or you don't quite know what brands work with small influencers, so in this bonus tip I'm going to share with you brands that work with small influencers or different type of companies and industries that work with small influencers. So that's going to be vegan cosmetics, your local restaurants, startup companies, subscription boxes, local events, Etsy sellers, and fitness and wellness brands. So consider those different type of pillars, those different type of industries, and start reaching out to give you kind of a give you kind of a direction when you want to consider brands you want to work with and brands you want to reach out to. Remember, building a successful career as an influencer takes a lot of time, so make sure you are being patient and giving yourself grace and don't get discouraged. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and just remember it takes time to kind of create your own unique style and voice. With that being said, best of luck on your journey and becoming a paid creator. Again, I hope you found this video informative. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and until next time.